What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another mystery tackle box video. I'm Matt from SBFishingTV. Today we're going to be trying to attempt a summer slam. So we're going to open this mystery tackle box up, take a look at some of these baits, and hopefully complete this thing. I'm going to stay out here until I do. The water's a little bit low. This lake has a little bit of grass in it, and the temperature is 85.5 degrees. So it's still pretty warm, but it's starting to cool off. It's not in those like super high 90s, like 94, 95 degree water, which is super tough to fish. I've seen a few fish busting on the surface. Hopefully we have some baits in here that will work. Let's see what we have. First up, 3/4 ounce Dobbins spinnerbait. We've got a Lunker Hunt Jolt 2.5. I know these very well. This is the 𝗙𝗶𝗹𝗶. We've got a Mustad jig head. This is a 1/4 ounce. Some cotton candy waggle worms. Bagley Fat Balsa B2. This is a good crawdad squarebill. And then we have some Carl's Stash nail weights. I think with the conditions, we should be able to get this done. I'm gonna rig all these up. We're gonna get to fishing. All right, you guys, so we got everything rigged up. We're ready to get going here. I think I'm gonna start off with that spinnerbait and just try to cover some water. And then when I get to the shallow grass, switch up between the crankbaits and the spinnerbaits and maybe throw the waggle worm around a little bit. Really just trying to find as many fish as I can as quickly as possible, so I'm going to try to cover a lot of water. I don't know, all these fish jumping out in the middle and schooling on the shad. Might just look for them and just start throwing baits in the middle, but I don't know, we'll see. Here we go. One thing I definitely like about this Dobbins spinnerbait is that it's 3/4 ounce. That's pretty heavy, so that's going to be able to sink down pretty deep. I can try to fish for a little bit more suspended fish or fish that are hanging off the bottom, like in 15 to 20 feet of water on points. I also added a little trailer on there. It's just a split tail trailer. Kind of mimic these shad. Not too much action, but it gives it a little something. I'm also going to keep an eye out for these feeding fish, because if I can zing the spinnerbait through the school, I think I'll be able to catch at least one. This B2 is extremely buoyant. Like, there's no hang time really. As soon as you stop reeling all the way down, it comes up really quick. I mean, it shoots up like a rocket compared to other crankbaits. Fishing a crankbait through grass can be pretty frustrating, but it can also be really rewarding. Your bait's gonna come back with grass on it 90% of the time. You're not gonna be able to feel a lot of bites, but sometimes you can really trigger fish doing this. I'm reeling it down until I feel the grass, then I'll stop for a second, let it rise back up, and then just keep going. And sometimes once I hit that grass, I'll just rip it out, let it pause for a second, and hope for a reaction strike from a fish. I'm still seeing bait being chased all around this point. I think it's just a matter of finding out what they want. Something else you guys can try when you're fishing the really tall grass is keeping your rod tip up like this. It'll keep that crankbait higher in the water column. And if you need to get it a little bit deeper, just lower it back down. Oh, well, I just got rocked on the 𝗙𝗶𝗹𝗶 here. Fish had it right at the boat, was swimming down. I set the hook, nothing there, but he did steal a claw. I don't know about you guys, let me know down in the comment section below, but I personally can't fish it like this. I'm just not as confident as when the bait is full. So I'm gonna rig another one up and hopefully find some of these fish. Something's busting right over here. They're busting all over the place. I really think they're just moving around a ton. Gotcha. Whoop. Very next cast with this thing. Sweet. All right, guys, first fish of the day. Nothing too crazy, but I caught this fish on that vile bug on that Mustad hook, and all I'm doing is fishing main lake points that have a little bit of grass on them. I'm getting out to that edge, staying back like 20, 30 feet, casting into the grass, and then pulling it out. But you can see this dude is a very lucky survivor. He got bit by something big time. Has a massive slice in his back there. A couple more big marks here. There's really big muskie in this lake. Not very many, but they're in here. So maybe a big muskie got him, or a bird. Something. That's number one. 2 baits, 1 shot. So I just caught a fish on that 𝗙𝗹𝗶𝗹 on this point, and I marked a bunch of fish around the outside of this grass. So I'm gonna stick here for a minute, just make a bunch of casts with a few different baits, see if I can pick up a couple more. I saw a ton of bait. Again, I saw quite a few big marks like off the edge of this point. I'm hoping they'll eat more than just a small crawl being dragged along the bottom. All right, I want to show you guys something real quick. I picked up both of the crankbaits. So I have the 𝗙𝗍𝗋 B2 and the Lunker Hunt Jolt. Now earlier when I was fishing this, I realized how quickly it was rising to the surface. And then I started throwing the Jolt around a little bit. It comes up way, way, way slower, and I'm pretty sure it's because of the balsa that this thing's made out of, but I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but I'm gonna try my best here. All right, they're at the same depth. Boom, 𝗙𝗍𝗋's at the top. And there's the Jolt, so like significantly slower. Oh, look at all that bait right there too. It's so funny. 𝗙𝗍𝗋, still waiting. Jolt, let me try one more time. 𝗙𝗍𝗋, Jolt. That's definitely something to think about when you're deciding on which square bill to throw. Sometimes I'm sure those fish are going to react to a bait that comes to the surface a lot quicker, like the 𝗙𝗍𝗋, and other times they want something just to like rip off a piece of grass or wood and just kind of sit there and hover, because this one's going to come to the surface 3 times quicker. Pretty cool. My GoPro is off, but I did just catch this yellow perch on the Jolt, just ripping it right across the grass. Decent little yellow perch, not too bad. These are such pretty fish to me. So cool. Oh, fish. I thought that was grass. It's so funny. Oh, another perch. There we go. Now you can believe me. Oh, that one's bigger. Nice. Haha, check that out. Another perch. Just a few casts later too. This one's chunky. He got shoulders. I love these fish. Oh, they're starting to go. See ya. That was a bass that just jumped. Oh, there we go. Another one. They are loving this Jolt. Oh, tell me that's another perch. Is that another perch? Oh, no, it's a bass. Little. All right, well, no big bass streams around here, but that little Jolt is definitely catching fish. Like as soon as I started throwing it, started connecting with a few more bites. So that's something I'll take all the time. That bass is gonna knock the Jolt out for us. We gotta catch a big one today for make up for that. See ya. There's definitely a lot going on out here. A lot of movement, a little bit of wind, grass, main lake point, dropping off into deeper water. I mean, we're fishing up on the flat part of it now. I'm gonna pick up this 𝗙𝗍𝗋 and see if we can catch one on this too. There we go. Get in here. Oh boy, what is it? I don't even know what it is. Oh, it's another bass. We're catching them big today, boys. I feel kind of bad. 𝗙𝗋𝗋, I think the big girls are just laying super deep. I don't know how I'm supposed to catch them super deep on a square bill though. It is fun getting them out of the grass, seeing them feeding. I really think a lot of the fish that I'm seeing feed on top are fish about this size, just chasing small bait. That was on the B2. Oh, giant. Any fish is good though. Well, we knocked both of the crankbaits out. Actually, every fish that I've caught today has been on this point, and there's a giant patch of hydrilla off to the left side of it in a little bit deeper water, but there's not too much on the main point itself. So I think most of the fish that are relating to this area are hanging around this grass. And then there's a bunch of fish out in the deeper water just chasing shad, and I got lucky and caught one on this B2 doing that. Granted, these aren't like big fish by any means, but they're still fun to catch and they're still working for this slam. So that's 4 baits if you count the hook that we've knocked out, and we have the spinnerbait and the waggle worm left. I think we're gonna make it happen. Come on, big fish, big fish. That's what we need, big 5-pounder to make up for the dinks. Come on. That's a fish. Oh, come here, buddy. I'm feeling a little disgraced right now. Flair would be impressed. I can say that. Look at that. That might beat a flare fish. Put him on a cracker. There we go. Okay, okay. Get in the boat. Yeah. Spinner. Oh, God. Almost killed me. That's the slam, boys. Ah, there we go, my friends. That is slam complete right there with the spinnerbait fish. It was a good day. Caught quite a few small fish. This is probably in contention for first biggest. Thanks to Flair for letting me borrow some of his fish for this mystery tackle box slam. I'll let this guy go. See ya. Took me about 4 hours, and in the last 2 hours really started catching a few and getting some bites, but we got it done. We caught a fish on every single bait in the mystery tackle box and 2 surprise yellow perch, so that was pretty sweet. Can't complain about it. But if you guys want to try a slam of your own, click that link down in the description below and you can get your first box for as low as $5. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button on Carl's YouTube channel, and I'll see you on the next one.